Hey y'all, so happy Saturday. Back with some more jelly printing, my July printables, and our altered book. So, I think this is going to be kind of a long video, so settle in. You want to pause it now, get yourself your favorite Saturday morning brew, and let's get going. I'm going to, so first of all, good to see you guys again, or I'll know that you're here because I'll hear your comments and what have you. And for those of you who are new or just popping onto the channel here, my name is Robin McClendon, and I'm a mixed media artist, a master bookbinder, and paper maker. And we've never got to paper maker on making on any of these videos, but it's something that I have a really a love and a passion for. And jelly printer. I've been jelly printing probably now for 8 years at least, maybe a little longer. So settle in and we'll get started. I'm first going to show you the June printables. The July printables. And we're going to actually work on top of these with jelly printing. I'm going to show you a few techniques that you can take the printables as a basic background and just build up some more texture on top, and it'll kind of take us a little bit further on our journey from where we were 2 weeks ago, where I showed you guys how to glaze and do a bit of fragmenting that really helps to extend the look of printables into a mixed media painted textured type of thing. I know a lot of you follow me because you like my style of jelly printing, and I've also been told that, you know, that it takes a lot of work to achieve this, and it does, because I do a lot of layers in my printing. Honestly, I come from a printmaking background, so most of my jelly prints are going to have, I've counted between 12 to 18 layers, because I just layer. And I use a lot of thin layers, and I build up, and, you know, I just kind of do a lot of back and forth to get the textures that I do. So a number of you have reached out to me and said, hey, you would just like more of the backgrounds so that you can kind of build up on them and then collage on them and make them your own. And I think that's a great idea. I've watched a number of you guys who show your work over on Instagram, and also who put things over in Pinterest on the boards. And man, you guys do some incredible things with the background papers. Like, if I didn't know that they were mine, or I recognize a little element here and there, I wouldn't know, because you really are building them up and doing some really nice things. So I think it's a great idea. So this July pack is designed, excuse me, I'm a little my throat, I'm drinking something warm. Oh goodness, everything's going on outside. But Arizona here, you get the allergies. And I just came back from Mount Shasta, so lots of pollen-y things. But anyway, I'll show you the pack. So I designed this one to sort of be, it's colorful, but it's a lot of base colors that have a little bit of opacity to them, so they're not going to be super strong, but they're going to be enough pattern so that you can work on top of them without having to really fight the color. That's the idea behind these. So it's a baker's dozen, 13 of them, and they're all different. So I'll flip through them. Now the first two are, course, one on onion skin, and then this is on just regular copy paper, nothing special. So the better the paper you use, the more intense the color will be. But I always like to show the things just on basic papers, so that you don't feel like, oh, in order to get them just like the way Robin showed them, I've got to jump through hoops. So this is just basic copy paper. If you get your things printed at Kinko's or, you know, Office Depot or someplace like that, if you ask for a slightly better grade, you're going to have more intense color. But these right here I love, and they jelly print beautifully. So in my journal, I will probably be using the onion skin, though I know it's not easy for everyone to get onion skin, so we'll be printing on regular paper as well, so you can see how it comes out. I started off just kind of playing with this empty area here, and so I just did some very subtle overstamping, as you can see, using our favorite pumice, and then this one right here is black soot, and it's very subtle. So remember, you can start off by stamping and get some subtle layers. I think I'm going to do a bit of stamping, and I'm going to come back with this cactus green, which is a bright green, over this, probably before I actually do some more jelly printing. So I'll show you a little bit of over stamping. But you can definitely just, if you don't have a jelly plate or you don't jelly print, just grab some of your inks, your various inks, and just stamp the papers and build up. The other thing you can do is, if you have a stencil or something, or even like the Punchinella, you can take your inks and one of your blotters, and just holding it, just go in with this, or a sponge, even a makeup sponge, and you can literally just take and sponge ink or paint into the stencil to create some extra texture. So you don't have to do the jelly plate if you don't have it. It's a few options you can do to really build up on these pages. And I have tons of more ideas on how to build up on these backgrounds. So in future videos, I'm going to show some other techniques using the printer to really expand the look of these backgrounds. So lots to come. But anyhow, for today's video, this is what the pack looks like. So this is in there. We have this. This is on onion skin. I love this background. I mean, you can just see how much is going on in these prints. It's just tons of layers. When you look at my printing, it's just tons of it. And I'm actually working on sort of a master jelly printing course over on my Teachable, where I'm going to get in and just really flush out my techniques and have a real full-on session. But that's coming. This right here is actually a print that a jelly print that was in one of my journal pages, and I have some old documents, and this 1787 was on there, but I just loved it. So I figured it's not so much that if you wanted to cover that over, it's gone. But if you want that little bit of element, it's there. Or even if you wanted to make a journal card or a tag using this, or whatever, that little element was there. So I left it because I liked it, and I thought you guys might appreciate it. So it's this one. Now I've kept the color ranges. I've made them diverse, but I've kind of kept them sort of in the cool, sort of neutral range of pinks, greens, blues. So there's quite a bit going on. So if there's more green in here than you like, then you could overprint. Excuse me, with blue, or whatever, any other color you like. If you don't want as much pink, then you can overprint. So I've done them in such a way that it's easy to overprint, to stamp over, and really work with them. But they're all very sort of beautiful, easy color ranges to work with. This one, I just love these. Just yummy. You can see there's just a lot going on. Also, I've left a bit of whites and neutral spaces in here, because if you print this out on coffee or tea dyed paper, remember, then this won't be white. It'll take on the staining. All of this will take on the staining, and it will really, really be beautiful. And even if your printer prints with a border, all that staining will blend in, and you really don't even have to worry about the borders. So any places where you're seeing this light, it's going to pick up staining. So remember that. The same with this one. If you print out on your tea stain papers, boy, it just becomes a different a whole different image. This one. So I kept a little bit of element so that it kind of gave, you know, a jumping off point, different borders and stuff that you can use. This one right here is probably the strongest in the group, but I did that on purpose because I know that this quinacridone Ozo Gold, it really blends well, and it will work with the other packs. All these will work with the other packs as well, because you can see instantly, like last month's pack. I mean, look how easily, you know, you could just make this work. This could just easily just right on top of there and go have at it with collaging. And this side as well, you see. So I'm making the packs so that, because so many of you are have been buying all the packs. So I want them to be something that you can go back and continue to use with the future packs. So I'm designing my monthly printables with the idea that you can use them all. Even this one, the doorways and documents. I mean, you can see how you could take and really just blend them in and just kind of really work them. So because these earthy colors really just take a lot of these sort of pale blush pinks and rust tones. So not to worry. And of course this right here goes well together. And this one here does. You can see how these work. So they all work together beautifully. Here's another one that's got a lot of complexity going on. So, and this is a nice, really subtle, and it has that stamp in it that you guys love, that wood block. So that has a nice chunk of that in there. Play with. There's another one. Remember, like I said, all of this white, it'll print with the so that on a coffee stained paper you can really get a lot. This one has some scripting in the black and the white. This is done not with a brush. This is done with a paint marker. So that's why they're a little more rounded. So depending on the different tools you use, you know, everything changes. We know that. But there's a lot of yummies going on in this one too. So and this is a good one too for coffee staining, because all of this is going to pick up the staining. And then this one. So there's 13 of them. Oh, and this has some really nice arc making on it. Alrighty, so that's what it looks like. And it's funny because you guys have, like, I normally put them up a week prior to the end of the month. Now I'm telling you my secrets. I normally make it live a week prior to the end of the month because I send them out to my Gelli team members, the design team, Patti, Vicki, Rachel, and Kory. And I make them available so that they can grab them and start working with them. So it makes the link live. Even though I give it, you know, even though they have a code to get in, it makes the link live. And I've noticed that already maybe 25 or 30 of you have already gone over there and gotten them. So you already figured out the secret to what I'm doing. And maybe it's because you're in the school over there in Teachable, and you can see when new stuff comes up. You can see it. So I thought that was pretty cool. So thanks a lot, guys, for really enjoying these printables, because I'm really enjoying them. And I tell you, I have a ton of work because I've been jelly printing for a long time, and I'm working on a book. I just got stuff back from the editor, so I have a lot of, see all the red, a lot of stuff to consider and work on. But this is my art mythos. It's a 12-month course. Many of you have gone through it. I'm turning it into a book. So it's like a workbook, and coffee table book. So it's going to be a lot of beautiful images in there. There's going to be journaling prompts. So if you want like a journaling companion, and that's what my Art Mythos is. It's really a journaling companion with weekly prompts that are chock full of lots of videos and tutorials, etc. And so this is going to be a workbook where you can actually do the monthly prompts like week 22 laughter, and then there's a whole prompt about that and how to journal and do some artwork around it. And at the same time, you will be able to have a page in there that if you wanted to make notes, if you wanted to journal along with the prompts and actually put them in the book, it'll be there. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I'll be doing some editing my own over the weekend here, but also I've had to pull together like 104 different images for this book, and I basically did it easily. And even all the images I'm sharing with you guys, I don't think any of those are actually in the book. So I've got a lot of material. So let's get going. I'm going to start off by, we're going to jelly print. So I'm going to pull these couple right now to sort of show you how we're going to get going. Trying to get stuff out the way so it's not all... Okay, so I have more room. So I just pulled out a few stencils, just very basic. So what I decided is I was going to do just some basic stencils, like basic patterns and shapes, nothing too over the top. I'm going to use a lot of craft paints. I do have a couple of goldens here that I'll work with, but you'll see I'm going to do those minimally. But I'm just using Blick matte acrylics. I'm using another one, Deco Art, in the champagne gold. I love this as a glazing medium. The color shifts. This is the Dollar Rawny that you get from Walmart. And my Artezas. A lot of you guys already have Artezas. So I picked a lot of just basic, easy paints that anyone can get, because I want this to be a process that you could just really just jump in and do. It doesn't, like, you don't have to go out and buy a lot of stuff or wait for things to come to actually do this process. I think it's so important that we can, you know, we can go high and go low, right? And that's important, I think, in our crafting and mixed media work. So we're going to start off by, what I don't have is my brayer. Where is it? Here it is. So what I want to start off with is I'm going to let's just do a quick glazing of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to glaze the entire page. I'm just going to do a bit, you'll see, I'll sort of do this real thin partial type of glazing. And this is $1.29 or 49-cent paint. This is a real inexpensive one. You can get at Michael's or Joann's. But I love this color. It's called Champagne Gold. So here again, we're just doing a very thin layer. And what I want to do is I'm just going to pick up bits of it like that, so that it's not, you know, sort of covering the whole thing. So now since I've picked some of it up, I can grab it. And see, what I'm doing is I'm just going to get this sort of real subtle bits going on, but it's not covering. I want to make sure that I'm not necessarily covering the entire page. I think you can see, like, some of it's there, some of it isn't. See? Like how it's empty spots there, and that's what you want to do. So we'll put some more down. And once again, remember, the key to glazing is very thin layers. Okay. So I want to start getting a little bit of color down here, but I don't want it to be full on, so that see, that looks good, so that it doesn't so so that we have other places for the other colors to kind of lay down on top of it, so that we start really getting that really neat buildup. Because if you do, one of my little tricks is that if you, every time you put it down, if you get full paint on everything, then you just got these layers that are just full on. You don't get the subtlety of different things and stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like if I did this brush mark over the entire thing, then you're not going to get this little bit here and, you know, all over it. And I'll show that too. Let me find the right paintbrush. I can use this one. So I'll show that too. That'll be a good way of doing a build-up. Okay, so before I actually put any glazing on here, let me just go ahead and get some of the stays on here. I want to just get some of this green. Yeah, see? That cactus green I really love. Come on, let's focus. Come on. Yeah, see that? So I want a little bit of language going on. So just kind of put it over. Sort of like that. Okay, that's good. Now I'll probably come back and do a little bit more of this, but I just kind of want to get some down before I start putting paint on here. Okay. And this is the stays on, so it's a permanent. It's not going to bleed or anything. Alrighty. So get some more glazing medium on here. So I like the fact that these printables are so interactive that, you know, you guys can get them, but at the same time, you can really make them yours. You can just work on top of them, and so see how that is just laying on there. And even if that's all we did with the printing underneath them, with the, you know, the stamping, we just added a nice something to this without doing a whole lot, and you know, you can move on to printing with it. Okay, so now we've got that glazing. Let me see. Another one that I love to do is, I'm just trying to figure out which direction we're going to go. I will start subtle and we'll build up to a slightly stronger color. So I'm going to start with, this is the black and the Blick matte acrylics. I love them. This color amethyst I absolutely love. And we're going to get some buildup on this plate too. So that's going to be fun. Some of our last pulls are going to be, have a lot of texture on them. And actually, I'll put them on one of the background pages, and we'll just see what that looks like. Now this, we're going to actually use a stencil. So this one is Patti, Tolley Parrish. She's one of my design team members. A lot of you guys know her. This is her stencils. I love them. Just a lot of very basic gridded patterns that are really cool to work with. So Patti's. And so what I want to do is I'm going to start off like maybe in this area, just adding a little bit of this. Just lay it down. Because here I don't do this, you don't want to do all over printing necessarily. See? So we just added a little bit of that, which is nice. Let's grab a little bit of that right here. See, I'm just picking bits and pieces up. It's like super easy to add to Yeah, love it. So we're just adding some very neutral colors there. I think what I'm going to do also is just we can get a couple things going here. We'll just have some off printing patterns. So we'll just take a blank sheet and just start building up some extra stuff on it. What I like about the Blick is, see, I had some gold down there too, so they're already getting some yummies. I could literally just take this as it is, tea or coffee stain it, and oh my goodness. You guys have seen me do that with early on when we were doing some of the Rothko printing. Remember I showed you the next week the coffee stain, the pieces that were just throwaways, but I coffee stained them, and so good. So nothing is a waste here. Here you can see where it's a matte. I love the fact that we're going between a matte paint, but you can see the what is this? Metallic in there. See that? So be going back and forth between mattes and metallics stuff is just really a good way. So here I'm going to use one of my next favorites, which is, oh, this isn't it. That's not what I want. I want my Celadon. Where is my Celadon? Thought that's what I had picked up. They're very close, but not exactly. And I just thought I put it back in here because I didn't want to open up a whole nother one. Oh, I don't want to stop what we're doing here. Let me see. This is... Okay, Robin, where is... Honestly, guys, I just put it back in here. Oh my goodness. My paints are pretty well organized. It shouldn't be that far away. Oh, wait a minute. Here. Okay, here it is. Celadon. I love the Celadon. So we're going to take the Celadon. This is also a matte. You can get these online from Blick. But if you're in another country and you can't do that, obviously, if it's, I don't know what Blick's shipping policies are, like where they ship or not. And then with this COVID, trying to get anything is like, takes forever. This is a narrow stencil, so I want to make sure I don't put it all over the plate. But this is another one of mine that I love. I mean, it's not mine. I own it. I think I got this Martha Stewart. But I love this sort of dotted pattern. So you can literally just put this down, let's say right there, and pick this up. But look for any matte acrylic that you may have in your country. The idea is to use, mattes, acrylics, squashes, iridescents, metallics, and they all build up a complexity. Okay, see this? See how subtle? I love that. Oh my goodness. See, we want to take our time. A lot of times I see in the jelly printing community, just like really like too much too soon. I think I'm gonna do these so I can just coffee stain these, and then these will be good inside a journal for journal pages and stuff, because I use these a lot in journal pages. Just pull the print, don't worry about a lot being on it. Oh, this is yummy. See, because it's picking up a lot of what I have on the plate now. And then we can coffee or tea stain around it, and it'll be on both sides. And then when you fold it, you've got just a nice little accent, but you have journaling space, right? So it's like you have the accent element, but it gives you a lot of space to work around and print on. Okay, so let's do some more of that one. I want to get that on some of my other pages. And so the idea is that I'm a very patient jelly printer. I really take my time and just let my layers build up. I don't go for 3 pulls or something like that and we're done. No. We got to do a little bit more than that. But it comes from my days of printmaking. So this one right here, I'll put that down and we'll get this pattern. And the thing I like about this dot pattern is it's still so subtle. You know, you can see how just beautiful that is. But you can just, if you just had this one stencil, you could literally just use it, which I'm going to use it with a few different colors. See that? Look how just nice we've added to the this whole thing without it being too much. Okay. If I'm not careful, this is just going to be a jelly printing session. We won't even get to the book, but we're going to get there because I already told you guys it's probably going to be a little bit, so we're just going to go with it, right? Okay. So every time I've got something else that's just a yummy. Okay. Let's go with, so that was the amethyst. Let's use, what color do I want to use? Oh, where's the, here. This is the paint, the Rolney. I never say that right, I don't think. But anyway, this is, I get from Walmart. It's like $1 something for the tube. I'm not crazy about all the colors, but I do like the pink, the white, and the black. Some of the other ones are more of a primary color that I really don't use in my palette, but if you do, go with it because it's still cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do more of the, get some more of this down. I'm going to do more of the circles. I want to get some pink ones here. You can see that it's mixing in with the what am I trying to say? Use your words, Robin. The Celadon. Okay. Okay, see the pink? Now see how we're getting the pink, this lighter pink overlaid over the amethyst. So now we're just really building up more texture. But with the printables, with my printable underneath it, we've got a nice foundation that you can just keep on building up. And it's really just looking yummy there. So we can even take one of our prints. Let's take this one here. And just kind of right here in the middle, let's just grab some of this. Because you can literally, so you can just literally grab some of that. And now we have this reverse pattern on here. And then on this one, we can actually, I've got some ideas what we're going to do. So you can take a light layer. You don't want to make it too much because you're going to cover up your whole print. But when you have an area like this where you can add the reverse of the dots, then that's a nice way to go too. Okay, so now let me use, let's use this blue. This is Ocean Breeze. It's Craft Mart. It's really a cheapo paint. But it's good for, like, I wouldn't do a whole, like, all my jelly printing with these paints. They're just a little too, I don't know, flat and not quite right. But they were great as accents. If you mix your paints like I'm showing you here, that makes a big difference too. Let's put this down. Oh, wait a minute. I need a little bit more spread. Let me get a little bit more down there. Okay. So what we're going to do So we're going to grab this. And right here on this one where we did the reverse, we'll just put a nice circle in that area. And we'll just keep on building up. Okay. See? Yeah, yummy. And a smaller one down there. We're just building up. And this is the way you can really just start working with these, changing them and really making them your own. Let me grab that. So I wanted to show you something else. Okay, let's do something with the punchella. That's what I wanted to show. So I wanted to show you how you can use parts of a stencil, like Patti's, and get that grid work in there. We can use a circular stencil. We've done some glazing. And even this makes such a great journal page, just once you stain it. Okay, so let's see, where are we? I'm going to end with the gold. You know I'm going to do the gold. Okay, oh, let me show you with the color shift with the circles. I just love, they make a darker circle that I just love. It just gives that extra something to the color field, so we'll do it on this one. This is the color shift, the black. It's the flash. It's called Black Flash. Okay. Put that down. So I'm going to grab it on this side. Okay, see that? Oh, I love it. See how, so you can get some dark, these old dark, that's why I love this stencil. This is, I know this is Martha Stewart, and I got it at Michael's. I don't know if she still has these, but that's what this is. If you want this stencil, that's what it is. But you see how you get this dark spotting in there beautifully without it being too much dark. But it works nicely to bring like a little order to your print. When you, let's say you have a really muted background and you like it muted, you still like the, you know, we have a few focal points like this dots and stuff here. You don't want to be too much, but you can do this. And I can also, I'll take this one and we can grab this dotting right here because it really does pick up nicely in a reverse because it's very thin. So it dried a bit. It's a little bit here. We get a little bit of that darkness, but this is dried. So I'll be able to pick that up. I'm going to show you how we can pick that one up. This is a bonus round. We're going to put this on our paper that's going to get coffee and tea stain. But just a little bit of quinacridone Ozo Gold. That's the champion. And you'll just get a really pretty pattern with this. Be able to grab all the stuff on the plate that's dried. So when your plate dries down, use quinacridone Ozo Gold. And it's an expensive paint, but I tell you, it's worth its weight in gold. Because what you can do is magic. Look at that. Pure magic. Oh my goodness, look at that. Pure magic. It gets everything off the plate. All the blues, the black, the golds, the champagne, everything that was down there. See, it cleans your plate basically. I love it. And here again, we coffee stain that. That's going to be so good. So though this may be, for this size bottle, I think it's $30. Get your coupon at Michael's, 40% off. But it is worth it. Quinacridone Nickel Ozo Gold. That's a secret. Okay. So now let's, what do I want to do? Okay, so I'm just kind of doing some subtle stuff. Of course, like this one right here, because I use that green. I know I want more green, so I'm going to go with my green gold. And I'm going to roll some of this out. I'm just going to do a thin strip because I'm going to use my Punchella. And I also, from time to time, I can find stacks of, I mean not stacks, but rolls of the Punchella, and I sell it in my shop. So if you guys want some, I need to make the link live because it sells out, and then I have to make some, but you know, take it off the roll. I normally do, it's about 10 feet of it you get for like $5, and they're different. I normally do like 5 different sizes. Sometimes it's 3 different size holes. Sometimes more. It's just hard to say exactly, but the size of the holes will vary too. So for instance, we have that size, and then I have this size. Okay. Oh, love it. See? Oh, yummy. So we got those, the dotting on there. I love it. So see how, so now it's taking and it's pushing my original print further back, but it's yummy, you know. Now you're seeing all this complexity going on just by using a few stencils. See that? And we're still seeing the stamping underneath it. If I can get it to, yeah, there we go. Focus, see? So we're getting that stamping underneath. We're getting the original print. We're getting the Punchella, you know, so don't be afraid to layer, but just kind of layer with a little bit of control. So let's see. I can grab this. So let's just put some of this over top of this. And you don't have to put the full sheet down so that you get it all the way across. So right here, see, I picked up just a little bit. Let's see if you can see. That's a layer as far as I'm concerned. I don't really want a whole lot because now I've got this here. This is adding over top of Patti stencil, that amethyst. So don't be afraid to do subtle layers because they really do pay off in the end. Okay, now that's that. Oh wow, look, it actually took off some of the, I love that. It reversed some of the paint off of my stencil. So let's grab that once again with some quinacridone. We'll just clean it, but we're going to get something yummy there. Okay. Oops. So we get all this bonus paper as well to just fill up a plastic spray bottle with some tea or some coffee. Just put down some waste paper, newsprint, or whatever. You can do it right on your kitchen counter and spray. That's what I do. That's one of the techniques. So you don't have to go through the whole big printing process. Just spray it and really get it. Oh, look at that. Wow. Yum. Oh, yummy. Look at that. So once again, these are going to make great journal pages. Okay. Now, I was supposed to be getting ready to show you something. Where was I going with this? Oh, let's just put a little bit of white down. I don't think I was going to do this, but it doesn't hurt to show. So don't be afraid to just add a little bit of white to stuff when you want to just add in a little extra. Like sometimes, you know, your print needs something. I'll use the larger holes here. Your print needs something and you're not quite sure what it needs. So let's just take this one and let's just grab right going across here. Just a little bit of this. See? See how beautifully that just integrates into the print? Yeah, so it doesn't have to be a lot. You just grab a little bit more of this right here. That's going to be mostly faded, but that's okay. See? So it picks up the little bits and pieces that were sort of left over, which is nice too. So you don't have to put your whole paper down full every time. Then this should pick up. Let's see what I can get it on. Let me see if I can get it where I want to put it. Let me grab, okay, let's use this piece. It'll probably be dry by the time I make a decision, but anyway. Let's get this right here. So you can really have a session with your printables and just go ahead and print them up. Yeah, it dried. Got a little bit. It's a little bit there, but it dried. But anyhow, you can just go have a session and do your printables up. Okay, so now there's something else I want to show you all before we stop and get to doing. Oh, I think I was going to use some gold, wasn't I? I've shown you the black. We've worked with the green, the quinacridone, the white. Okay, I think that was everything. So we're just going to go back and we can put a little gold on these prints just to zhuzh them up. So let's put some gold down here. This is the Golden's Iridescent Bronze. So let's say on this one right here, I want to put let me use the smaller holes, and I'm going to flip it, and I'm just going to grab some of it here. Just use my fingers to pick it up. See, just a little bit. You know, we're not trying to go over the top. And then let's grab some of it right down the middle here. See? Oh, I love it. See how we're just adding? Oh, man, this is great. Okay. I'm going to get some of it on here. Oh, look at that. See, we're just getting some subtleties. So don't be afraid to grab that gold. Let's see if I can pick some of this up. I don't know how much may come up, but hopefully. Oh yeah, see? So I got the negative. So you see it's the reverse holes in there. See that? So I did it over top of Patti's stencil there. And so now we're seeing that amethyst through it. Let me see. See? So the holes are, yeah, so now that amethyst is popping through. So there we have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm not going to leave that there, am I? No, no, no. Let's grab this. And we're going to get another sheet. And I promise you next week I will show you those pages stained. Let me just kind of maybe do it like this. Okay. Wow, that's good stuff. With that white, see that? I love it. And we can actually take, I'm supposed to stop, I know. But we can actually take some of this, the black flash, and roll that out. Let's grab this stencil here. And literally, we can take and just put that over the areas where there's not going to be anything. And then, of course, when we stain it, see, when we tea stain it, that's going to look good. So even in those areas where when you do this method I'm talking about here, and you'll see the minute you stain it, you're going to see the miracle of it all. You can just take these empty spots and just fill them up. just with a very, you know, subtle stencil like this one. Yep. So when this is tea stained, look how pretty that paper's gonna, that page, that's a journal page. Oh, love it. On both sides, you just kind of flush it out a little bit. Alrighty, I'm stopping for sure this time. Step 4, I'm gonna grab that print. I can't leave that on a page, guys. And then we'll get to doing, or what time is it? Oh, I can't believe I've been doing this for an hour, 50 minutes. Boy, oh boy. Well, at least we'll get our page laid down. I probably won't get to be able to actually do the whole collage piece, but I am going to lay it down so that we can have these in our journal. Yum, look at that. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. So, move this out the way before I grab it and do something else. And, okay. Sit down. Oh, I know I was going to show you with the brush. Oh my goodness. Okay. I got to show you guys the brush because you're going to love it. It's another easy way. I think this is going to be a jelly printing session. I promise I will at least glue this to our pages so we'll see it down and then I'll build up on it. Oh, wait a minute. Just put it off to the side because we don't want a lot on there. So taking a stiff brush, just literally just kind of make marks like this. And then taking one of our pages, you can just kind of grab a bit of it like that. See how you just get these little marks on there? Let's grab a bit of it here. See? Like I'm just getting little swipes. You don't want to have to get a lot. And with this, I love this black flash. The black flash is a nice one to do it with, but you can use any black. So just see how we're just getting those little subtle swipes. And that's what you're seeing under here on the original one. That's what I did. So literally you could just do these little swipes around the place with any different color, any color you want. And it doesn't have to be any real order to it. I'm just cleaning off my brush. And see? Just pick these little bits and pieces up. And then, you know, I could come back and put another subtle layer of printing on top of it. So just, I want to show you that technique because I didn't want that to get away because you guys will enjoy doing that. And so like this right here, as it's drying in to the print, see, you just get that little painterly look on. So everything doesn't have to be a stencil. Got to remember that. Everything doesn't have to be a stencil. You want different, you know, kinds of mark making when you're jelly printing. At least that's what I do. Okay, so now this one, I think this one is one I'm going to put down first. That was fun, yeah? See how good that's gonna look? Yummy. I guess, you know, I get so excited. You guys know me by now. I get excited. Okay, but I want to do the little mail art thing because that's what our theme is. So let me get that one that I always use. And let's grab black soot, which is over here somewhere. Now, hickory smoke. Where's my black? Got to get some of these things out the way. Where is it? I must have put it away earlier. I definitely had it. But I just had it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So So I want to go ahead and get some of this, you know, this stuff here that we do on here before I put it down. Since I know I want to use it, it's so much easier. Let's kind of break that up there. Oh, I love it. So we're getting that overprinting. I'm going to put some of it down here. I'm just going to get this section right here. Let me see, put it this way. Okay, great. Okay, so I love that. So let me figure how I'm going to do this now. Oh, I'll make sure I link Artie Mays' video. Andrea, last week she had, I'd sent her some of my printables because I love her work. And she does a lot of staining and background. And so my June ones just had a lot of coffee stained papers and all that kind of stuff on it. Let me see, what am I looking for here? I'm looking for my, oh, here we are. And so I sent them to her and I'm like, hey, you know, Andrea, would you know, like maybe working with these? And she got back to me and she said, oh my God, I really love these. Absolutely. She, you know, she makes her own packs and she's so creative. She makes all of her own stuff. But I know she does some stuff with Tracy Fox and that kind of thing. So I thought, it doesn't hurt to ask. See if she wanted to use some. And she did. And she's going to do another, she shows the pack, but she's going to do another video, she said, using some more of the pack. But she made this adorable little tag, like sort of tag book. It's like a mini tag flip book or something. This is cute. And she used some of my printable and the cover, and it's a really excellent way of how I like to use these patterns myself, and it really gives you a great idea about how to take a bit of the printable and integrate it as interesting paper to put into your own stuff. So and of course my design team, they do such a fabulous job. Such great ideas. Sometimes I don't even know how they come up with these ideas. And their link is always below the videos that I use when I use my printables. So anytime you see me showing a printable, then if you go beneath that video, all their links will be there. And you got to see what they're doing because they do some really fun stuff too. So let's see. I want to use a bit of both of these. So I think, trying to decide which side I'm going to use, but I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to grab this side here, and let me see, maybe I'll take about that much. It looks about right. Okay, let's go with that. Also, when you jelly print on them, boy, it makes the paper so much stronger and it looks so much more like a jelly print. Oh, I love that. So then I'm going to grab this one here. I think I'll take this side. Okay. Of course, I'm doing this without measuring. Typical. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of make a, oh, duh, why don't I just take this and put it down? Just make sure, because I have to pull that white off, but let's just do it like this. That makes more sense. That way I get it the same size. So I'm going to use the 2 different prints. And then I'll save these for something else. Okay. Let me just go ahead and get the white off of this one, the border. Well, I thought that was going to be just a quick showing you guys how to do some things. But that's what happens to me. When I start jelly printing, I just don't know how to stop. Normally, I know I have to set some time for myself because I'm not going to stop. Okay. That's how it goes. Alrighty. So, I'm going to go ahead and glue these up. And I'm going to use my, where is it? My Fabri-Tac. Where is my Fabri-Tac? Oh my goodness. I know where my Fabri-Tac is. My daughter came and grabbed it. So we'll use the glitter glue, which is fine. This just puts more moisture down. So generally, if I want to keep on working, that's why I don't use it all the time on the videos. But though I love this stuff. But if you can have some time in between to really let it absorb in before you go start working on top of it, it's good. And I'm just going to take this card and just kind of spread it, because I don't like to see those lines underneath it, and you can sort of see them, especially on the on this onion skin. Okay, let me stand up. Okay. Kind of want to get it so that I don't have a lot of creases. So you kind of put it down and then spread out from the middle, then you don't get a lot of wrinkles and stuff. You can get it down flat. Oh, that's yummy. We have a few sessions coming where I'm going to be working on top of these, right? But literally, you could do an entire altered book just doing this, just making these beautiful prints. You know, this theme was mail art, but it doesn't have to be. You could literally just create an entire journal with these pages and just, I love it. Okay, so let's do the same thing with this one. Out the way so that I can put that down. Okay. Okay. Little hard piece there. Okay, let's get our card and just do the same thing. Okay, here we are. Let's put this down. Try to get it matched at the top here. Pretty much Okay, so same thing. Just kind of fine if you use your bone folder, or you can use a card. And working from the center out. That's how you can kind of get it down there nice and smooth without use the opposite side of what I used for the glue. Okay, so let's get a little glue here on this edge. All right. All right. Okay. So this is a start to these pages. It really won't need a lot. Some stamping and some stamps. But just want to show you how yummy these prints are now, like with all that extra painting on top of them. But you can still see, you know, like you're starting with a base print, and then you just cover up what you want to cover up on the print and leave what you want to leave. And even like with the subtle layers here, you can see the original print up, but we put a good chunk of this green gold over top of it. So you can really have at it. I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to do with this month's printables. Those of you who I follow on Instagram, and or you put things up in our Pinterest boards, I love to see what you're doing. But because you can really just take the prints and they just become something else, just nice and easily. So we're going to stop there because I know we're at over an hour, and I don't want to just take too much of your time up. But I'll come back once this dries, and I'll do some stuff on top of it. And remember, we did our, you know, for me to stop is not the easiest. But remember how we did our fragments? You know, I could literally take, I had a piece up there. I could take a piece of this, lay it down, so you can come back and put your fragments. Like I would rip this off more, just get, you know, a little bit less of it, but I don't want to do it because I want to use my water pen because I like to get the frayed edge. But I probably would take about this much of it. We can glue it down. So remember to use your techniques and build the techniques on top of each other. So we got the glazing, we have the fragments, we have this sort of partial printing over top of a activated surface. You know, in other words, the printable becomes that activated surface where there's already something there, and then you can just build on top of it. Lots we can do. All right, listen, thanks a lot for hanging out with me today. Love you guys. Enjoy all the comments. And I know last week I wasn't able to comment right when the video went up because I was in Mount Shasta, and I basically was having a technology fast because there was no internet and there was no phone service up in the mountains, like zero. For a week, I couldn't get on anything. So, but, and that video I had already pre-scheduled to go up because I didn't want to miss it going up. Thank God I did, because I wouldn't have been able to get it to you guys last week if I hadn't already put it and scheduled it to go live. So anyway, but this week I'm back to it. So love you guys. Take care. If you like the video, please thumbs it up if you're first time here and you stuck around for an hour. Please subscribe to the channel and share it with others as well. Love you guys. Take care and see you again soon. Bye-bye.